First Contact Chaos. The massive Zorgan battlecruiser hung in space like a predatory shark, its obsidian black hull gleaming with menacing technological prowess. Commander Krell Voxterra adjusted the multispectrum sensory arrays, his 4 compound eyes scanning the seemingly empty sector of the Orion Arm. 17 successful conquests hung in his species' galactic record, each a testament to the Zorgan Empire's absolute military supremacy. Tactical report, he barked to his first lieutenant, a tentacled communication specialist named Zarnix. Zarnix's membrane-like skin rippled with nervous energy. "Sir, we're detecting an anomalous signal. It doesn't match any known communication protocols in our database." The signal was small, almost insignificant, a tiny data packet that seemed to dance between quantum frequencies. Most species would have ignored it, but something about its persistent, almost playful nature caught Commander Krell's attention. "Trace the origin," he commanded. What emerged was both ridiculous and perplexing. The signal originated from a tiny object that their initial scans identified as a shipping container, a primitive transportation module used by less advanced civilizations. Its trajectory suggested it had been accidentally launched from a nearby planetary system, Earth. Inside the container was nothing extraordinary by Zorgan standards: thousands of small metal fasteners called paper clips, reams of thin processed plant material referred to as paper, and several thousand identical objects labeled as office supplies. But it was the accompanying digital manifest that would change everything. The manifest was a marvel of organizational complexity. Meticulously detailed, color-coded, with annotations that seemed to anticipate every possible logistical scenario. Each paper clip was catalogued. Each ream of paper had a tracking number. The level of bureaucratic precision was so intense that it almost seemed like a form of psychological warfare. Lieutenant Zarnix's translation matrices worked overtime. "Commander, this document appears to be some form of shipping confirmation." Krell leaned closer, his multiple eyes focusing on the intricate diagrams and flow charts. Something about this simple document radiated an intelligence that was both mundane and terrifyingly precise. It wasn't just a shipping manifest, it was a complete philosophical statement about organization, efficiency, and control. "Fascinating," Krell muttered. "Prepare a communication response. We need to understand the source of this document." Little did Commander Krell know that his attempt to communicate would be the first step in a confrontation that would challenge everything the Zorgan Empire believed about technological superiority and strategic dominance. The human who would receive their communication was named Marcus Rivera, a mid-level logistics coordinator at Global Shipping Solutions. By all appearances, he was utterly unremarkable, a 35-year-old professional whose greatest passion was optimizing supply chain workflows. Marcus was about to become the most unexpected hero in humanity's first true galactic interaction. As the Zorgan communication signal reached Earth's communication arrays, Marcus was in the middle of his daily routine. His workspace was a testament to efficiency: color-coded sticky notes, multiple monitors displaying real-time logistics data, and a half-drunk cup of coffee that had been precisely temperature-controlled for optimal consumption. The alien transmission would interrupt his meticulously planned day in ways no one could have predicted. The stage was set. Humanity's first contact would not be through diplomats, scientists, or military leaders. It would be through a shipping logistics professional who saw the universe as one massive, interconnected optimization problem. And the Zorgan Empire was about to learn that the most dangerous weapon in the universe might just be a well-organized spreadsheet. The response heard across the galaxy. Marcus Rivera stared at the holographic display, his coffee mug suspended midair. The alien transmission flickered with an intensity that seemed to pulse with its own bizarre intelligence. Most people would have panicked. Most people would have called national security, military authorities, or at the very least, started recording viral social media content. Marcus did none of those things. Instead, he opened a new spreadsheet. The Zorgan transmission was complicated, a multi-layered communication that seemed designed to overwhelm any recipient with its complexity. It contained what appeared to be diplomatic overtures, military posturing, and what could only be described as an extremely aggressive request for the return of a misplaced shipping container. Interesting, Marcus muttered, his fingers already dancing across the keyboard. In the Global Shipping Solutions office, chaos was about to erupt. The standard protocol for unexpected interstellar communication was not something covered in any employee handbook. But Marcus Rivera was not a standard employee. His supervisor, Elena Rodriguez, burst into his meticulously organized workspace. "Marcus, please tell me you're not doing what I think you're doing." Marcus didn't look up. "I'm drafting a comprehensive response to an extraterrestrial shipping inquiry. Their logistics documentation needs significant improvement." Elena stared. She had worked with Marcus for 6 years and knew that look, the same look he got when he discovered a 0.03% inefficiency in their global shipping routes. It was the look of a man about to wage war with bureaucracy itself. "They're aliens," she said slowly. "Potentially hostile aliens who might want to destroy Earth." "Potentially," Marcus agreed, "but their shipping manifest suggests they're more interested in administrative precision than destruction." The holographic display began populating with color-coded response documents. Each section was meticulously labeled, cross-referenced, and annotated. Marcus was treating this alien communication like the most important shipping manifest in human history, which, technically, it was. Meanwhile, aboard the Zorgon battlecruiser, Commander Krell was experiencing something unprecedented in his military career. The human response was not what any tactical algorithm had predicted. Instead of fear, diplomacy, or aggression, he received a 47-page document that acknowledged receipt of their communication, provided a detailed explanation of the shipping container's misrouting, offered 3 separate optimization strategies for interstellar logistics, included a complimentary guide to Earth's shipping best practices, concluded with an invitation to discuss further logistics improvements. Lieutenant Zarnix's translation matrices were working overtime. "Commander, I'm not sure this is a response. It's more like a performance review." Krell's multiple eyes blinked in rapid succession, a Zorgon expression of complete bewilderment. The document was a masterpiece of bureaucratic artistry. Each page was color-coded, with intricate flow charts showing potential shipping route optimizations that could reduce interstellar delivery times by an estimated 0.047%. There were footnotes. Extensive footnotes. Footnotes that referenced other footnotes. "They're not apologizing," Krell muttered. "They're improving our shipping methodology." The truly terrifying part was how good the suggestions were. The human named Marcus had not only addressed their communication but had systematically dismantled their entire logistical approach with cold, mathematical precision. Back on Earth, Marcus leaned back in his ergonomically optimized chair and took a sip of his perfectly temperature-controlled coffee. "I think," he said to Elena, who was still staring in disbelief, "we might have just initiated first contact through a shipping manifest." Elena could only shake her head. "Only you, Marcus. Only you could turn an potential alien invasion into a logistics optimization project." Little did they know, this was just the beginning of humanity's most unexpected diplomatic mission. The Zorgon Empire was about to learn that humans didn't just solve problems, they optimized them into submission. And Marcus Rivera was just getting started. The optimization offensive. The Zorgon High Command was in complete disarray. What had begun as a routine shipping container misadventure had transformed into something far more complex. Commander Krell Voxterra found himself summoned to the Galactic Strategic Council, a gathering of the most powerful military minds in the known universe. The council chamber was a marvel of technological intimidation, holographic displays flickered with star charts, battle simulations, and invasion strategies that had crushed civilizations for millennia. But today, something was different. Today, they were discussing a threat unlike any they had encountered before. The human, Grand Strategist Zoran AK began, his tentacles writhing with agitation, has submitted a comprehensive report that essentially reorganizes our entire interstellar logistics network. Krell stepped forward, projecting the now infamous document. It was a masterpiece of bureaucratic warfare, each page a weapon more devastating than any plasma cannon. The document didn't just suggest improvements, it dismantled the Zorgan Empire's logistical infrastructure with surgical precision. Back on Earth, Marcus Rivera was unaware of the galactic panic he had unleashed. He was in a routine team meeting, his latest project displayed on the conference room's massive screen. So, Marcus explained to his bewildered colleagues, by implementing these route optimization algorithms, we can reduce global shipping times by 17.3%. His colleague, Raj Patel, leaned over and whispered, "Are we still talking about the alien communication?" Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Every communication is an opportunity for optimization, Raj." The situation had escalated beyond anything the Zorgan Empire could have predicted. Their initial plan of intimidation had been completely derailed by a mid-level logistics coordinator who saw the universe as one massive supply chain problem waiting to be solved. On the Zorgan battlecruiser, Lieutenant Zarnix was experiencing an existential crisis. "Commander," he reported, "our entire supply chain model has been deconstructed and rebuilt in the humans' document. They've identified inefficiencies we didn't even know existed." Krell's multiple eyes narrowed. This was more than a communication, this was an invasion of a different kind. The human named Marcus had weaponized bureaucracy in a way that defied all known military strategies. The Zorgan Strategic Council debated furiously. Some wanted to launch an immediate attack, others argued for a more measured approach. But no one could deny the brilliance of the humans' approach. "They haven't threatened us," one council member noted. "They've improved us." Marcus, meanwhile, was completely oblivious to the galactic-wide panic he had caused. His next project was a comprehensive review of the company's recycling protocols. He had no idea that alien strategists were studying his every move, trying to understand this new form of warfare. The truly terrifying part was the precision. Each suggestion in the document was backed by mathematical models, projected cost savings, and efficiency metrics that made Zorgan mathematicians question their entire understanding of logistics. "This is not just a communication," Krell muttered to himself. "This is a strategic assault disguised as a shipping manifest." The Zorgan Empire had conquered countless civilizations. They had destroyed worlds, subjugated entire species, and crushed resistance with overwhelming military might. But they had never encountered an enemy who could defeat them with a perfectly organized spreadsheet. As the Galactic Council continued their heated debate, one thing became clear: humanity was not going to be just another conquered species. They were something else entirely, a civilization that could turn bureaucracy into a weapon of mass optimization. And Marcus Rivera was just getting started. The universe would never be the same again. The innovation offensive. The Global Shipping Solutions headquarters had become an unlikely nerve center of interstellar diplomacy. What had started as a routine shipping error had transformed into humanity's most unexpected first contact scenario. Marcus Rivera stood before a hastily assembled team of experts, logistics analysts, computer engineers, linguists, and one very confused marketing director. "We need to prepare a comprehensive technology transfer proposal," Marcus announced, his fingers already dancing across multiple holographic displays. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the company's chief research officer, looked at him incredulously. "A what?" Marcus didn't miss a beat. "The Zorgans have demonstrated significant technological capabilities, but their logistical infrastructure is fundamentally flawed. We have an opportunity to not just communicate, but to demonstrate human technological superiority through pure optimization." The marketing director raised a hand. "And how exactly do we market intergalactic logistics optimization?" "We don't," Marcus replied. "We demonstrate." Meanwhile, aboard the Zorgan battlecruiser, Commander Krell was receiving increasingly bizarre communications from the human. Each transmission was less a message and more a complete deconstruction of their technological systems. The latest document was a 73-page proposal that identified 214 critical inefficiencies in Zorgan faster-than-light communication systems, provided a complete redesign of their quantum navigation algorithms, included a 20-page appendix on thermal management in advanced propulsion systems, came with a complimentary style guide for technical documentation. Lieutenant Zarnix's translation matrices were working overtime. Commander, they're not just suggesting improvements. They're essentially rewriting our entire technological framework. The truly revolutionary aspect was how the humans approached the problem. Where Zorgan technology relied on brute force quantum manipulation, the human proposal suggested elegant, almost poetic solutions that reduced complexity while increasing efficiency by orders of magnitude. Back on Earth, Marcus had assembled a team that looked more like a startup than a potential first contact delegation. Dr. Aisha Khan, a quantum computing expert, was particularly excited. "Do you realize what we're doing?" she asked Marcus. "We're essentially teaching an alien civilization how to improve their own technology." Marcus nodded. "Precisely. It's the most efficient way to prevent conflict." The Zorgan Strategic Council was in complete chaos. Their most brilliant minds were poring over the human documents, each page a revelation that challenged everything they knew about technological development. "They've redesigned our communication arrays using something called lean methodology," one council member reported, her tentacles trembling. "It reduces signal interference by 63% and increases data transmission speed by," she paused, double-checking the numbers, "by 217%. Commander Krell understood now that this was not a typical first contact scenario. The humans were not interested in military confrontation or diplomatic posturing. They were offering something far more dangerous, absolute technological optimization. The proposal wasn't just a document. It was a complete blueprint for technological revolution. "We're being invaded," Grand Strategist Zoran muttered, "by a spreadsheet." Back at Global Shipping Solutions, Marcus was putting the finishing touches on what he called the Interstellar Optimization Protocol. It was part technical manual, part philosophical treatise on efficiency, and entirely a human creation that defied traditional understanding of technological development. "I think we're ready to send," he said to Elena, who had long since stopped trying to understand his methods. As the transmission was prepared, no one, not Marcus, not the Zorgan leadership, not even the most advanced predictive algorithms, could have anticipated the full implications of what was about to unfold. The universe was about to learn that humanity's most potent weapon was not its military might, but its ability to look at a complex problem and say, "How can we make this more efficient?" And Marcus Rivera was just getting started. Understanding beyond conflict. The Zorgan Cultural Adaptation Committee had never faced a challenge quite like this. What began as a potential military confrontation had morphed into something far more complex, a battle of understanding that transcended traditional concepts of diplomacy. Commander Krell Voxterra found himself in an unprecedented situation. Instead of preparing for conquest, he was now attempting to comprehend a species that viewed the universe as one massive optimization problem. "We need to understand them," he told Lieutenant Zarnix, "not as a potential threat, but as a potential partner." The human response to the Zorgan's request for cultural exchange was, predictably, not what anyone expected. Marcus Rivera had assembled a team that looked more like a cross-cultural corporate training group than a diplomatic mission. Dr. Priya Sharma, a cultural anthropologist with a background in organizational psychology, was leading the charge. "We're not just sharing information," she explained to her team. "We're demonstrating a fundamental approach to problem solving." The Zorgan delegation received a comprehensive cultural briefing that was equal parts fascinating and bewildering. It wasn't a traditional diplomatic document, but a 200-page multimedia presentation that broke down human cultural concepts through the lens of efficiency, adaptability, and continuous improvement. Sections included: Workplace Dynamics, Maximizing Human Potential. Communication Strategies, Beyond Verbal and Nonverbal Interactions. Innovation Mindset, turning challenges into opportunities. Each section came with detailed flow charts, psychological analysis, optimization recommendations, case studies of human problem solving. The truly remarkable aspect was how the humans approached cultural exchange. Where the Zorgans expected formal diplomatic protocols, they received a comprehensive guide to human thinking that was part scientific analysis, part philosophical treatise, and entirely unexpected. Lieutenant Zarnix spent days analyzing the document. "Commander," he reported, "their entire cultural approach is based on continuous adaptation. They don't see challenges as obstacles, but as opportunities for improvement." One particularly striking section explored human creativity. Instead of presenting art or music as static cultural artifacts, the document demonstrated how human creativity was fundamentally a problem-solving mechanism. Each example of human art, music, and literature was analyzed through its ability to communicate complex ideas, challenge existing paradigms, and drive innovation. The Zorgan Cultural Adaptation Committee was particularly fascinated by a subsection titled, Meme Culture, the Art of Rapid Information Transmission and Social Cohesion. What the Zorgans had initially dismissed as random communication was revealed to be a sophisticated method of cultural knowledge transfer and social bonding. Marcus Rivera, who had become the unexpected face of human Zorgan interactions, viewed this as just another optimization challenge. Cultural exchange, he told his team, is essentially a complex communication problem waiting to be solved. Dr. Sharma added a crucial insight. "We're not just sharing information. We're demonstrating a fundamental approach to existence, continuous learning, adaptation, and improvement." The Zorgan leadership began to understand that humanity's true strength wasn't in military might or technological superiority. It was in their ability to look at any situation, be it a shipping manifest, a technological challenge, or an interstellar cultural exchange, and see an opportunity for growth. Commander Krell realized something profound: the humans weren't trying to conquer. They were trying to understand. And in that understanding lay a power far more significant than any weapon. As the cultural exchange continued, both species began to realize that they were witnessing something extraordinary, the potential birth of a new type of interstellar relationship, built not on conquest, but on mutual understanding and continuous improvement. And Marcus Rivera was just getting started. Humanity's true strength revealed. The moment of ultimate confrontation arrived not with weapons, but with a conference call. Commander Krell Voxterra sat in the primary communication chamber of the Zorgan Galactic Council, surrounded by the most powerful leaders of their civilization. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing not a military delegation, but Marcus Rivera sitting in a remarkably ordinary conference room, a half-drunk cup of coffee beside him. "Before we begin," Marcus said, adjusting his ergonomic chair, "I've prepared a comprehensive agenda for our discussion." The Zorgan leaders exchanged bewildered glances. This was not how first contact was supposed to proceed. Dr. Priya Sharma, sitting just off camera, gave Marcus a subtle nod. Years of cultural research had led to this moment, a demonstration of humanity's most powerful weapon, the ability to transform potential conflict into an opportunity for collaborative problem-solving. The agenda Marcus presented was nothing short of revolutionary. It wasn't a treaty or a declaration of war. It was a comprehensive proposal for interstellar cooperation that addressed logistics optimization across multiple star systems, technological knowledge exchange, cultural understanding protocols, mutual resource development strategies. "We're not interested in conquest," Marcus explained, his tone as matter-of-fact as if he were discussing a routine shipping manifest. "We're interested in mutual growth." Lieutenant Zarnix, who had become somewhat of a human behavior expert, leaned towards Commander Krell. "They're treating an entire galactic potential conflict like a corporate merger," he whispered. The Zorgan leaders found themselves entirely outmaneuvered. The humans hadn't fought. They hadn't threatened. They had simply optimized the entire concept of first contact. Grand strategist Zoran AK, who had spent centuries planning military conquests, found himself agreeing to terms that were less a surrender and more a comprehensive partnership proposal. The document was 247 pages long, color-coded, with flow charts that seemed to predict and solve potential conflicts before they could even emerge. "This is not how first contact works," one elder Zorgan complained. Dr. Sharma smiled. "This is exactly how it works when two species are genuinely interested in understanding each other." The true brilliance of the human approach became clear. While the Zorgans had prepared for conflict, the humans had prepared for collaboration. Each potential point of tension was transformed into an opportunity for mutual development. Marcus's final slide showed something that left the Zorgan Council speechless. It was a projected timeline of potential cooperation, complete with efficiency metrics, cultural integration strategies, and a projected improvement in quality of life for both species. "We're not conquerors," Marcus said simply. "We're problem solvers." Commander Krell realized in that moment that humanity's strength was not in its weapons or its technology. It was in its fundamental approach to existence, an unquenchable desire to understand, to improve, to grow. The Zorgan Empire, which had conquered 17 star systems, found itself willingly entering into a partnership with a species that had initially contacted them through a misrouted shipping container. As the communication ended, Marcus turned to Dr. Sharma. "Coffee?" he asked, as if they hadn't just potentially changed the course of galactic history. She laughed. "Only if you've optimized the brewing process." Humanity had not conquered the galaxy through force. They had conquered it through understanding, efficiency, and an relentless belief that every problem was just an opportunity waiting to be solved. And Marcus Rivera was just getting started.